A record number of nearly 100,000 Lebanese resistance troops have been stationed at Lebanon's border with Israel, marking a significant escalation in the ongoing conflict between the two regions. This buildup comes in the wake of increasing tensions over the prolonged crisis in Gaza. The Lebanese resistance group, known for its staunch support of the Palestinian cause, recently released drone footage depicting critical areas within Israel. The footage included images of crucial ports in Haifa Bay, military-industrial zones, defense areas, and residential neighborhoods. Analysts interpret this move as a stark message to Israel, highlighting that its vital assets are within striking range in the event of a wider conflict. Despite the display of military capability, Israel appears undeterred. On the contrary, the footage seems to have emboldened Israeli resolve. Israeli officials have declared their intention to fully crush the Lebanese resistance, a stance that has drawn concern from the United States. The U.S. has cautioned Israel against initiating a war with Lebanon, warning of the extensive destruction that could result on both sides. The U.S. fears that Iran might exploit the Lebanese resistance to launch one of the most destructive campaigns against Israeli interests in occupied Palestine. Officials note that the Lebanese resistance of 2024 is significantly more formidable than it was in 2006, potentially inflicting severe damage on Israel in the event of war. Conversely, Lebanon could face devastating consequences, with Israel likely targeting civilian infrastructure to pressure the resistance group. In response to the escalating rhetoric and actions, the Israeli government has released numerous videos on social media platform X, showing potential targets such as airports and residential areas that could be destroyed, akin to the devastation seen in Gaza. These warnings, intended to dissuade Lebanese resistance, have so far failed to ease tensions. Amid these developments, Hezbollah troops have been strategically positioned across the border, seemingly ready for orders to invade occupied Palestine. The Israel Defense Forces, IDF, have reported ongoing casualties, with the Iron Dome defense system struggling to effectively protect critical troop deployment areas. Yesterday, a drone attack in northern Israel injured at least 18 Israeli soldiers, one seriously. The drones, launched from Lebanon, triggered sirens in the Galilee Panhandle and northern Golan Heights. The IDF reported that an explosive-laden drone, launched by the Lebanese resistance, struck the Merom Golan area, injuring 18 troops. While one soldier sustained serious injuries, the remaining soldiers were listed in good condition. This attack marks a significant uptick in the use of advanced drone technology by the Lebanese resistance group, which has increasingly deployed explosive-laden drones, anti-tank guided missiles, and rocket barrages in recent months. The Lebanese resistance group claimed responsibility for the attack, stating it targeted an Israeli military site in retaliation for earlier IDF strikes. In a separate incident, a heavy rocket launched by the group hit the Beit Hillel area. The IDF confirmed that the projectile landed in an open area, causing no injuries or damage. On Sunday morning, the IDF reported strikes on sites used by the resistance in southern Lebanon. In one incident, IDF surveillance identified a member of the resistance entering a building in the town of Haula, where other operatives were gathered. A fighter jet subsequently struck the building. In a separate attack, an operative spotted in a building in Kafr Kila was also targeted and struck by Israeli forces. The intensification of these attacks and counterattacks has heightened fears of another war in the Middle East. The Lebanese resistance's increasing use of drone technology to circumvent the Iron Dome defense system is a development that will likely be studied in military history for decades to come. The proficiency of the Lebanese resistance in utilizing drones has surprised even the most skeptical observers. Many attribute their advanced capabilities to direct Iranian involvement, crediting Iran with supplying the group with the equipment and technology now threatening key Israeli assets. Notably, the drone that captured footage of various parts of Israel is a new type, allegedly developed domestically by the Lebanese resistance group. Known as the Hudhud drone, its ability to film sensitive areas of Israel undetected has raised significant concerns. Although it is purported to be a domestic product, many recognize its Iranian origins, given its sophisticated capabilities. The Hudhud drone, named after a bird mentioned in the Quran, is a small, unmanned aerial vehicle, UAV, designed for reconnaissance and surveillance missions. While detailed specifications are often classified, several key features are commonly reported. The drone's compact design is one of its most notable characteristics. It is relatively small and lightweight, making it difficult to detect and intercept. This compact size allows it to navigate through various terrains and environments, providing an element of surprise and versatility in operations. Equipped with high-resolution cameras and night vision capabilities, the Hudhud drone excels in gathering real-time intelligence. Its advanced surveillance equipment enables operators to monitor movements, assess battlefield conditions, and plan strategic operations with greater precision. The ability to conduct surveillance under the cover of darkness adds to its strategic value, giving operators a significant advantage in nighttime missions. The introduction of the Hudhud drone has significant implications for the Middle East conflict. Its use represents a shift towards more technologically advanced warfare tactics, potentially leveling the playing field against adversaries with superior conventional military strength. The drone's ability to gather critical intelligence without risking human lives is a notable development, enhancing the operational capabilities of those who deploy it while minimizing casualties. For Israel, the Hudhud drone poses a new challenge in terms of security and defense. The advanced surveillance capabilities of the drone mean that it can be used to gather sensitive information and conduct reconnaissance missions with a higher degree of stealth and accuracy. This development requires Israel to adapt its defensive measures to address the potential threats posed by such advanced UAV technology. Moreover, the Hudhud drone serves as a symbol of innovation and adaptability within the region's ongoing conflict. It demonstrates the ability to integrate modern technology into traditional forms of resistance and warfare, showcasing a blend of ingenuity and resourcefulness. This technological advancement not only impacts the strategic landscape, but also highlights the evolving nature of the conflict. In a related development, the recent statements issued by the Iraqi Resistance Coordination Council and Asaib al-Haq reflect a deepening of tensions in the Middle East, particularly concerning the long-standing conflict involving Israel and Lebanon. The warnings, issued in response to perceived threats from the Zionist regime against Lebanon, underscore a volatile geopolitical landscape fraught with historical grievances and contemporary strategic maneuvers. At the heart of the issue lies Israel's potential actions against Lebanon, which have elicited strong reactions from Iraqi factions aligned with the broader resistance movement. The threat of targeting American interests in Iraq and the region, articulated by the Iraqi Resistance Coordination Council, highlights the interconnectedness of regional conflicts and the fluid alliances that define Middle Eastern geopolitics. Central to the resistance's discourse is the condemnation of Israeli actions against Palestinians, framed as massacres that warrant unified Arab condemnation and decisive action against normalization with Israel. This sentiment reflects broader regional sentiments of solidarity with the Palestinian cause, a rallying point for many factions across the Arab world. The mention of the Aqaba-Basra oil pipeline in the statement raises concerns about economic and geopolitical implications, portraying it as a potential leverage point in efforts to normalize relations with Israel. This narrative underscores the multifaceted nature of regional conflicts, where economic interests intertwine with political and ideological stances. Qasadi Syed Hassan al-Khazali's assertion that American interests in Iraq would be targeted in response to Israeli aggression against Lebanon further complicates the regional dynamics. It shows Iraq's role as a battleground for proxy conflicts and the precarious position of American interests amidst escalating tensions. From an analytical standpoint, these developments highlight the fragility of the region and the potential for escalation fueled by external interventions and historical grievances. The statements by Iraqi factions not only signal defiance against perceived threats from Israel's planned invasion of Lebanon, but also elucidates the complexities of alliances and antagonisms shaping the Middle East today. Yet the Israeli military strategy, known as the Dahiya Doctrine, has sparked intense debate and profound repercussions since its inception following the 2006 war with Hezbollah in Lebanon. Named after the Dahiya district in southern Beirut, a stronghold of Hezbollah, this doctrine embodies Israel's policy of employing overwhelming force in response to threats from its neighbors, often resulting in extensive collateral damage. The origins of the Dahiya doctrine trace back to the abduction of 2 Israeli soldiers by Hezbollah fighters in 2006, which triggered a swift and devastating Israeli aerial bombardment of southern Beirut. This onslaught caught Hezbollah off guard, as its leadership had underestimated Israel's willingness to inflict widespread destruction on civilian areas perceived to harbor militant activities. Former IDF commander Gadi Eisenkot articulated the essence of the doctrine in 2008, emphasizing Israel's strategy of responding with disproportionate power to any provocation, viewing civilian areas as legitimate military targets. This approach, he argued, aimed not only to neutralize immediate threats, but also to deter future hostilities by inflicting lasting damage. Critics of the Dahiya doctrine argue that such disproportionate responses lead to egregious violations of humanitarian law, causing extensive civilian casualties and devastation of civilian infrastructure. Gabriel Siboni, a former Israeli colonel, defended the doctrine as a necessary deterrent against militant attacks, asserting that the primary objective was to cripple the enemy's capability to launch future assaults. The aftermath of Israel's implementation of the Dahiya doctrine has left a lasting impact on regional geopolitics. It has heightened tensions with neighboring states like Lebanon, Syria, and Gaza, where similar military strategies have been employed, leading to cycles of retaliatory violence and humanitarian crises.